Welcome to a new RxJS tip. My name is Kevin, I'm a Google developer expert in Angular and web technologies, and today I want to talk to you about higher order mapping operators in RxJS. Higher order mapping operators are one of the most powerful features in RxJS. SwitchMap, concatMap, exhaustMap, and mergeMap are probably the most known higher order mapping operators. And in today's video we will explore them from a different perspective. We will use some dropping balls to explain how those mapping operators work. Sounds good? Let's do this. In today's video, we will explore higher order mapping operators with the help of this demo application. This demo application contains a button that allows us to drop a ball. If we click here, we can see that the ball drops to the ground and then bounces out. If we want to represent this behavior in a marble diagram could look something like this. We have a click stream that emits once we click the button. Whenever we click a button, another stream comes into play. The bouncing ball observable. And the bouncing ball observable simply emits coordinates over time. So it contains the information where the ball should be at a certain time. If we would use normal operators like map on such a scenario, we would end up with a higher order observable. A higher order observable is an observable which values as well are observables. Getting values out of a higher observable would result in nested subscriptions, and that's not what we want. Instead, we can use higher order mapping functions. The most common used higher order mapping functions are switchMap, mergeMap, concatMap, and exhaustMap. Let's explore them with our example. Let's start with switchMap. You can think of switchMap as the latest fashion operator. Because it's like in fashion, whenever something new comes, the old one is outdated and you don't care about it anymore. You always care about the latest thing. And that's what this diagram represents. We see that we get 3 values for A1, but only 2 for B, because in the meantime C has already emitted. So those diagrams look a bit complicated, but let's explore it in our application. In our application, we can click on drop ball and the ball drops. As I said, the source observable is the click stream. And since we use switchMap, we always care about the latest. So it means whenever we drop a ball and then in the middle of his drop, we drop another ball, we will forget about the ball that is currently dropped. Means we click and we click again, and you can see how we only care about the latest. So next we will explore concatMap. You can think of concatMap as a queue. You will only process the next values if you already finished with the previous ones. So means if A emits, we will map it to 1 to 3, and then we will only proceed after 1 to 3 finished. So we get then B, and B emits B1, B2, B3, and you see a delay in the process of C, because C will only be processed after B finished. Let's explore that again in our application. So the application stays the same, but we now use concatMap instead of switchMap. Means we can drop a ball and we can click 5 times, but we see that the new ball is only processed after the previous ball finished. So that's concatMap. The next one is exhaustMap. And exhaustMap is something that we as programmers can probably relate the most. Because imagine you are working on a task and your project manager is already pressuring you with new tasks. What will you do? You will just focus on your task and ignore him until you're finished with your task. In this example, you can see that we only process 3 times 10 and 3 times 30 and not 50. Because by the time the 5 arrived, we were not yet done processing 30. So we just simply ignore the 5. Let's explore that again in our application. So with concatMap, we were just clicking the button 5 times and we were guaranteed that 5 balls arrive after each other. But the new ball would only arrive after the previous has finished. With exhaustMap, this is different. So if we now click 5 times, nothing will happen because we just ignored all values until the previous ball was finished. Let's hop on to the last one, which is mergeMap. And you can think of mergeMap as an operator that just simply doesn't care. It just merges all values together and emits them. And to be honest, in our demo application, this will probably create the coolest effect out of all those higher order mapping operators. So let's explore it. We changed our higher order mapping operator to mergeMap, and now if we click drop ball multiple times, we just drop balls. And this is a pretty cool effect. I could look at this all day. Those were the higher order mapping operators. If you like this video, please leave a like and subscribe to my YouTube channel to not miss any future videos.